Hey, 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 it's Robert's Top 10. Hey, hey, it's Robert's Top 10. He's at it again with another Top 10. It's a lousy Top 10. It's Robert's Top 10. Hey, it's Robert Ochoa again, and I'm here with another one of Robert's Top 10s. Today I was going to do Top 10 Japanese film. Now don't worry, I know some of you are probably thinking, wait, there's some Japanese films that should be on that list. Well, guess what? I'm going to do another one called Japanese horror. So there's going to be a totally different list for Japanese horror films. It's coming soon. Don't worry about it. So to start off today, we're going to have Kanochi, Lady Ninja. Now this is probably one of the coolest movies like I've seen with a really bad budget and really bad story. It's about like these girls that are trained to be lady ninjas, and well, they have special powers, and their special powers come out of their special places. You have laser beams coming out of boobs. You have tentacles coming out of yahoos. I mean, it's crazy. And not only that, like the villains are really bizarre too. There's this dude that shoots out his eyeballs, and then they turn into guys. Really weird, but really fun because you get a lot of boob shots, and you also get a lot of violence, blood splatters everywhere. The whole works. Next we have Yo-Yo Girl Sexy, or Yo-Yo Girl Cop. Now, Yo-Yo Girl Cop is a really bizarre story. It's about a female cop who goes into high school to do this undercover sting, and she fights with what? A yo-yo. Makes no sense. But what's even worse is that there's actually another movie called Yo-Yo Girl Sexy Cop, and the tagline for that is, she wears her badge on her panties. And in that movie, whenever she's fighting a bad guy, and she says she's a cop, she'll lift up her skirt, and there's her badge clipped onto her white cotton panties. Because the Japanese people, they just love white cotton panties. So, that movie's actually even a worse budget than this one. It's even a worse story, and there's no action in it. All it is like a bizarre lesbian love story with a lot of panty flashing on like scumbags and perverts and degenerates. But this one right here, this is the better one. This is the more action one. This is the better kung fu and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely a good one to pick up. Next we have, this is a good movie. It should be higher, but it's not. I don't know why. Battle Royale. Now Battle Royale is probably one of the coolest movies ever made in Japan. I mean, I don't know why they didn't like bring it over to USA and like make a bigger thing about it. So the whole thing behind Battle Royale is that Japan basically realized that the youth sucks. They don't like the youth. They don't like the new generations. They just hate them. So what they do is that to make them better people in life is they send them to a deserted island, and they have all the classmates kill each other off. And the last one standing gets off the island and gets to go home. They have 3 days to kill each other, and they get bizarre weapons. Like you can get anywhere from an axe to a pot lid. You can get binoculars. I mean, that's your weapon, binoculars. Or you can get like a revolver. So they don't know what they're getting. They just end up getting it. It's really cool because it plays on the whole like junior high, high school thing where it's like, oh, you hang out with them, but they're really mean with me, so I don't even know why you're trying to be nice to me. And it's like, oh, you're the cute girl. I've always loved you. How are you going to deny me? It's really funny how they do it. I mean, it's kind of sad because you have like kids going against each other, murdering each other, having sex with each other. But at the same time, it's funny because let's all face it. Back in high school, there were certain people that we wouldn't mind just killing to get off a deserted island. So Battle Royale, definitely pick it up. Now we have, now this is more Japanese. I mean, we have Hakaider, the Robo-Man. Now, this is one of those movies where it's just so bad, you have to like it. I mean, it's about this cyborg who is going up against, I don't even know what this guy is, but he's a ruler of a city. Everybody has to follow what he does, or else not, they get lobotomized. So, it's this black robot named Hakaider who's going around just beating up guys in costumes and ends up fighting against another robot named Michael. What's really cool is that you watch it and you think you're watching like Power Rangers on a mature level. I mean, there's blood, there's violence, there's a lot of cursing, and what's even funnier is that it's like both like Japanese and I don't even know, but I can't say they're American actors, but they're definitely white people and black people in the movie. And it's just weird because they all speak Japanese, and you can totally tell that the white guys and the black guys are speaking English. It's just with bad Japanese dubbing over them. And even if you watch the English dub version, that's worse dubbing. Just stick with the Japanese. Trust me. Read subtitles. It's good for you anyways. So Hokkaido. Next we have probably one of the funniest, stupidest movies to come out of Japan about an American sport. Battlefield Baseball. Now, Battlefield Baseball is just a real bizarre story. I mean, like, it's really out there. So the story is that there's this high school, Sato High School, that is, you know, they're up to play baseball and they can't wait for the season to start, even though they suck. But then there's this other high school, I forgot what it's called, but when they play baseball, they don't play baseball, they actually just kill people while they're playing baseball. So the best part is like this guy hits a ball and this dude catches it and he thinks he's out and it's actually a bomb and he blows up. I mean, it's a bizarre story. It's just funny because you watch and you're like, wow, do Japanese people really think about baseball like that? And I mean, it's way out there. And the cool thing about this DVD that I got right here, I guess this was like the special edition, and I got real lucky because there's also a short film on here called The Great Ramen Jackass of His Time. And it's about this little boy who's trying to get ramen for his grandmother. And I mean, it's just a complete silly story, but you'll laugh and you'll find it funny. So, yeah, check it out. Now, we got a tie right here. Hold on a second. Yeah, a tie for number 5. These are the Zeram movies. Zeram 1 and Zeram 2. Now, I had to do a tie because they're equally both the same. I mean, they have the same actors in both the first and the second movie, so that's really cool. They didn't change anything. It's almost the same monster. But if any of you are familiar with Zeram, it's like this alien being from outer space that cannot be destroyed, and he's being hunted down by this bounty hunter area. Now, there's also an animated one, and the animated one's really good too, but like I said, we'll save that for later. That's also going to be in another category. But the Zeram movies are really cool. I mean, it's not great special effects, but it's a really like creepy story. I mean, it's about this unstoppable alien. No one can stop him. He's out there just beating up everybody, killing everybody, and this badass bounty hunter, she's after him, and she's whooping ass, and she actually whoops his ass. So, real good movies to pick up. Next we have Versus. Now, Versus is like a real like cool dark comedy, I guess. But one of the cool things about it is that it actually has kung fu, martial arts, karate, and zombies. That's right, zombies. So I guess it's like this gang, and they kidnap this guy because he's like a special key to go to like the 666 dimension, and it's really weird how they do it. But they go to the Force of Resurrection, and anybody they kill and bury comes back to life as a zombie. So, you know, there's a bunch of zombies around. They're like wannabe Yakuza guys going around killing everybody. Now, the acting's really, it's a little okay, you know, it's alright. But what's even worse is the wardrobe, because like the Yakuza gang that's there, or whatever kind of gang it is, they're all dressed up really weird, and it just looks like a really bad Backstreet Boy impression. I mean, you're just like, what the hell are these guys wearing? But at the same time, you know, there's comedy in it, and they make fun of themselves because of what they're wearing and what they're doing, and really cool sword fighting, and just an all action movie. After that, we have Death Trance. Now, Death Trance is one of those movies where the story does not make any sense whatsoever. I mean, there's like 10 people all trying to go after this coffin, and if you get the coffin and you say the magic words, then all of a sudden you get to make a wish, and whatever you wish for comes true. But that's not the case. What happens is, if you take the coffin, you open it, you unleash the goddess of like death, and she's like an angel, and she goes around whooping ass and beating everybody up. So it's a really good movie. It's action. There's some really cool fight scenes. It's really bizarre too. I mean, you have a mix of characters. They're all over the forest running around. You got Buddhist monks, you got samurais, ninjas, all this kind of stuff, and it's just fun to watch, you know. Killer soundtrack too. Soundtrack's pretty cool. You got like this techno heavy metal soundtrack going on throughout the whole movie, so, you know, check it out sometime. And next we're coming up on a little bit more serious movie, but still kind of goofy. It's Makai Tensho, Samurai Regeneration, or Reincarnation, my bad. Now, this is like, I guess this is Japanese folklore. It's about like this dude who starts bringing out these great warriors from Japan. He doesn't bring them out, he brings them back to life. These are like great warriors of Japan who have died, and he's like, well, I can bring you back to life, and you'll come back as demons, and, you know, we'll be able to, like, take over Japan. And it has a very famous Jubei. If you guys don't know who Jubei is, he's like this one-eyed samurai, very famous in Japan. So he actually finds out what they're doing, and he's going against them. Now, the one thing about this movie is that there has been a lot of them made. I think this is the one from the 70s. But I know there's another one called Reborn from Hell, and that was made like in the 90s. And then there was one made in the early 2000s called Samurai Reincarnation. And it's all the same story. This one is, you know, this one's more violent. I've seen the other one, Reborn from Hell, and that one's more sexual. There's a lot of sex going on in this one. But this old school one with Sony Chiba, that's right, the very famous Sony Chiba, this one's more violent, and there's a lot more fighting and killing. And it's a really cool story because it brings out all these Japanese legends, and they're all coming together, and they're all going against each other. It's kind of like if Paul Bunyan and Pickles Bill, Johnny Appleseed, actually, you know, all got together and started fighting against each other to see who was top dog out of American myth and culture. So my last film here is Zatoichi, The Blind Swordsman. Now, this movie is really cool, and it's one of those movies that it's not goofy, it's actually serious, it's a serious drama. So Zatoichi is actually like this badass blind swordsman. There's a lot of movies. There's like movies that are in black and white, movies that are, you know, in color. There was a remake, I think, done in the early 2000s as well. There was a TV series, you know, starring the same actor. And what's really cool about it is that he's totally blind, he can't see, but he's just this badass swordsman. And what I really like about it is that there's a lot of philosophy and a lot of teachings behind, you know, most of these like movies. And this one right here is probably like one of the coolest because there's a lot more blood, a lot more special effects, you know, there's comedy, and the guy is just really cool to watch, you know. Of course, it's unbelievable some of the things he does. Like, he throws a baby up in the air, rolls on the ground, kills two guys, catches the baby, and the baby's perfectly fine. But at the same time, it's fun to watch, you know. It's just one of those movies that you're just like, oh, you know what, it's serious. You can learn a lot from the dialogue and from the little conversations that they have with each other. Like I said, there's a lot of philosophy and all that stuff going on back and forth. So it's really cool to watch, you know. Unlike the other movies that are on this list, this one's to be taken a little bit more serious. You should watch it with an open mind and be like, oh, you know what, that's cool, you know. You might learn something. You know. So anyways, that's my Robert's Top 10 Japanese collection. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, like I said before, these are my top 10 from my collection. I bet you there's better movies out there. And once again, if you have a suggestion for me, watch a movie, anything I'd like, you know, go ahead, let me know. I'll check it out, you know, and who knows, maybe I'll have to make a new top 10 and throw that movie on there. So thanks for watching, and this has been another one of Robert Ochoa's Top 10.